Well, hey there. Welcome to another episode of Breaking Kayfabe. It's your boy Saucy, and I'm here today with the handler of Amy Harrison. I know him as Dave. You may know him as Amy Harrison, or maybe by some other names. We're going to find out today. But Dave, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. Let's talk about some efed stuff.
Thank you very much for having me.
We should probably preface this interview by saying that Megan was on the show a couple weeks ago, and she did a great interview, and she peer pressured you into doing the show as well. So I'm happy to have you, and I'll be gentle, I promise.
Yeah, it's all right. It's like I'm sure like probably everybody that knows her pretty much knows me, and like to a certain extent, we're basically in terms of efed, we've pretty much been joined by the hip for
Yeah,
quite a bit. Because basically, I'm basically her sidekick
right.
for like
Or maybe she's
I
your
don't know.
sidekick.
No. Like she's been the one that's like excuse me. Like she's been running the feds. She's been doing our characters. Like I've been going along with the stories, and like if any like anybody any didn't already know, like we've been um like together in EFEN for like at least a decade and a half right now in one capacity or another. So um I don't really sure if peer pressuring her was or peer pressuring me was the right term to use, but I think it was just more well, she was prodding me a bit, I will say that.
She's good people. I'm kidding a little bit because I know she's going to listen to this show, and we like to poke fun. But so tell us about the character for people who don't know Amy Harrison, who used to be X-rated Amy, if I remember correctly.
That would be correct.
But now it's just Amy. Give us the elevator pitch. Tell us what she's all about.
Uh, well, I will say there's a good reason that username to begin with. I'll get it in a second, but basically, Amy's like one of the longer running characters I've had. Um, for like a quick synopsis of her, she's basically a second generation wrestler. She's been going for a good. She's probably been going for like 15 years herself. She's from. She was born in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Like that's where her family was based. Her father was like a big UK wrestler in the UK scene in like around the 60s and in Europe. And that's basically where like she got her niche really. And like the Harrisons, like they're basically like a mini wrestling family themselves. Yeah, Amy, I got Marianne as well. Um, there's also Chloe as well. It was like a cousin of theirs that's new that's coming up here. Actually, was in the Calamity Chamber if anyone's keeping up with the Splat stuff.
Okay, yeah.
She basically was like she started out in Ireland. Basically it was like she saw her father. She saw it as like, oh, this is something I could do, and she got into it that way. Um, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. When she first came in, she wasn't exactly the most mature person.
Sure. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I actually was like the when you mentioned up the X-rated Amy and all that, I actually remember when we basically me and Megan we had our own smaller fed before 5BW was basically like a precursor. And basically when she first came in, she was like an immature bitch that basically was like she show you everything about her in more ways than one, basically, let's put it out that way. Um but she was like she didn't hold anything back. She was very aggressive and very, to the point, and that was one of the ways she stood out. Um I think it was like when she was her like biggest rivalry was Sarah McCarthy, which is another one of my characters, which is the longest character that I've got. So the two of them were basically like they're the long term rivals for the longest time. And yeah, so like they were going. It was basically like over it was a jealousy basically, because back then it was like Sarah was like basically being seen as like a um in a weird way like a sex symbol, but also gonna beat your ass, and Amy was very jealous about that, and that's basically what the crux of the rivalry was, and that went for so long. But now, who came to 5BW, it's basically she was still like a little bit of that when she came in, but over a little bit of time, it basically snapped in her head. You know, she's growing up. She's she's getting older. She's you know she's married. She has her own family now. So it was more she refocused her aims to realizing here, I'm focusing on the wrong things here. I can go this way to be successful, and that's basically where she's going now. And that was why I had changed the Twitter handle. That was a long term coming anyway, because it was like especially with with Twitter these days, when you see that with an X-rated Amy, it's like you're expecting X-rated stuff basically. But her original idea was her original character was like she'd curse, she'd tell you everything that she was doing, and not exactly kid oriented or kid friendly, I guess. But now it's like she remembers who she was, she remembers where she came from, and now she's focusing and she's looking to go straight to the top, basically,
So
and that's where we're going right now.
so she's matured as a wrestler, as a person. She's matured, and I
Yes.
assume that's probably given you some renewed vigor and opening up some doors to be able to write the character a little bit differently. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Actually,
has
if anything, I just remember like in like we the way 5BW for the last 5 years. Sorry for us in cutting you in there,
no, go.
but this like there was like a refresh, just basically effectively saved the character, because when she came in, she was doing something, and then effectively flatlined. Like there was nothing, and there
Yep.
was then when I came, I was like, yeah, we're gonna be doing something here. Because when I first came in, Marianne was the focus, and then Amy came in, and then after a little while, I think it was me and Megan were talking to each other, and was like, you know who this is, right? We should go somewhere with this, and that's what we're doing now.
And how have the results been for you? Because I think Amy is in that main event picture. Is that right?
She is. She had just she had just won the 5e Rumble in the last show we had, which was basically like a Royal Rumble match where the winner gets a world title shot.
Okay.
And actually, it was actually a big day for her, because on the same day in the because the 5EW show happened the same day as the Calamity Chamber. On that show, Amy also had a match with Megan G, which was another one of the big rivalries we had, and that was effectively a closing the chapter of that book. Basically, actually, that's actually another thing, because like the last like couple of years, there's actually been a lot of closing the chapters of the past.
Sure.
Because there was one where I just came on mind now. I forget it was last year or the year before. It was on one of Chris Page's cruise, I think it was, where Amy went against Kelly Pansky Nelson, and it was basically symbolically fighting for the women's championship of the old Fed they were in, because Kelly was the last champion, and the title was a title that Amy always wanted but never got. So we had that match. Amy won it, and I was like, that's a big deal for her. That closed that chapter. The match with Megan, it was like Sarah and Megan were like her biggest rivals, and Amy won that. That was another chapter closing. On the same day, she was focused on winning this Rumble. that's her next chapter. That's a big goal. So it was like a big, not necessarily a full circle moment, but it was definitely a very big swing into where she's going now.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Is she's closed the book on Kelly Pengsy Nelson. She's closed the book on Megan G. What's left to do? She's getting later in her career now, and she's done almost everything. So what's left? What's on the bucket list?
Win the world title. I think going for that, it's like that's the one bit of vindication she needs to say here. I've been doing this for this long time. Doing it for a father, doing it for a family. Well, for the most part now, because that's another issue now. Going for the title is like, if she wins it, that's her vindication. It's like, it's all been worth it. And this is to prove that she has been what she said she has been for the longest time. It's just been a matter of now she's fully realizing who she is and where she is, and this is telling herself as much as everybody else, I can do it, and this is this is what I can do.
Has she ever been a world champion before?
No, I don't think she has.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think like the when she got the women's championship in the match against KPN, that was unofficially, because like the Fed was already closed, so this was like more of a symbolic thing.
Right.
But in terms of, well, actually, she did have actually the Total Ambition Championship, which is another
the spin-off
thing from FABW. It's a spin-off, like FABW and all that. But I think in terms of like, I don't know, the Total Ambition was the first of us.
But this is the big.
It's late in the day. I'm forgetting where I'm going now. But yeah, but it's like in terms of like, she hasn't been the FABW World Champion, so I think it's like, of this scale, she hasn't been.
So I want to ask you a question. Now that she's at the top of her game, which has been more fun for you? Has it been the chase? Was it the early days when she was kind of figuring out who she was? Or is it more satisfying now that she knows exactly who she is, what she wants, she's focused, she's direct? Which has been more fun for you?
They're in fun in different ways. Like when she was still the obnoxious bitch character, that was fun because she was being very outlandish, and it was basically her MO to basically get everybody pissed off at her, and that was kind of fun. Now it's with where she's going now, it's fun because it's like I say, it's the push, it's the chase, it's like it's using the determination she got to get her to the next spot, and like in for lack of a better term, like a sentimental way, it's like it's me telling myself here, this push is elevating her, in I guess in lesser extent, it's elevating me, or even more. I don't know. Whatever I'm trying to say here, but it's like it's pushing ourselves, like, hey, I can be able to do this. I got a character that can get to this position. So like I said, it's fun in different ways. So
well, I think this is a story that we need to hear, right? This is that plot of Pretty Woman where you've got a wild girl in the beginning, and by the end of the movie, she's getting out of the lifestyle, and she's becoming a respectable woman. That's the story that people need to hear, because it gives you hope in your life that even though things may not be the way that you want them to be, you may not have the lifestyle that you want right now, there's hope that one day, if you keep fighting, you keep pushing through, that things are going to the stars are going to align and things are going to fall into place, and you're going to get that one moment that makes everything else worth it.
Yeah, I think it's also because like I think the whether she sees or not, like the whole 10 years or however long it's basically been Amy's trying to find something. She's trying to find something in multiple levels. Like personally, she's had her struggles. Um, she had a failed marriage in the past, so she's married again. She's had struggles trying to get a family. She's got one now. She's had struggles with her career because she's focusing on this thing where she should be focusing on this thing. So like she, whether I think it's like whether she realizes or not, like she's been looking for something here. She's looking for something here. She's looking for something here. Her going for the title now, that's her finding where she's going in her career. Like that, like I said, trying to find the vindication. Not necessarily saying like, winning the world title, that's it. There's no more to do, but it's like it's one of those exclamation points that said, this chapter's closed, this chapter's closed, this chapter's closed. There's nothing more to worry about in terms of there's something missing because she's found what she's looking for. This could be the last one.
So if she wins the title, what happens next?
She goes on to try to hold on to it and try to prove that it's not a fluke, that she's there on a purpose, she's there for a reason, that she's not there just because of her surname. She's it helped, but it's also like trying to make her family proud, making her dad proud, telling everybody here this is what I should be doing, and this is where I should be.
Okay, so now what happens if she loses?
She's gonna be super pissed. It'll hurt, I know that, but she's been at this for so long that it's not gonna be one of those things where it's like she's gonna give up over it. She's at this for this long. She's not gonna stop just because she's had one stumbling block. She'll find another way in. She's been finding her way in for a while. Like getting to this spot right now, she's basically scratching her claw as much as she could. So it will hurt if she does fall flat, fall short, I should say. But I know it won't be for a lack of trying, and I think at the very least that if she knows that she's given her all and she will, because I'm very sure that bitch will come out again, but a more like aggressive, like determined one. She's gonna go for what she wants.
It seems like she's still got a lot less left in the gas tank, right?
Oh no, she definitely does. Like I think if I like she's still like she's still mid-30s at this point, I think. So okay. there's still some time there. Like her older sister is in FIBW as well, and so it's not as if she's
Mary Ellen. Yeah, Mary Ellen. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like if she's still going, then Amy can still go. Like Mary Ellen's a completely different story right now.
So let's talk about that. You've got some other characters as well. I know Amy is the one that you're most well known for. Tell us about some of the other characters.
Well, FIBW, Mary Ellen's the other one. The other one, I guess, I was more well known. She was the first one that came in with in FIBW. Actually, like I brought her in another feds as well. It was basically long story short, when we still were doing me and Megan were still doing the other feds. Amy was a successful one. Mary Ellen was more like the afterthought one. So the idea was, if I'm gonna go outside of the feds, Mary Ellen would be the one to do. so I brought her to other feds. She became the first one to join the 5EW. Basically had like the first big feud in 5EW with Brittany Helms, which tearing the crap out of each other. She was basically like at the time like the more determined of the sisters. Like she was going in with a point of proof. She wanted to show that she's not just not just Amy's sister, and prove to be on her own. She bringing up the splat stuff again. She won the Unlucky 16 tournament. She went on to hold the Multi Universal Championship for a little bit. So I guess if you do count that as a World Championship, Mary Ellen's the first one there. He was long time tag champs in 5EW as well. But lately, she's basically going through like a very public jealous rage because of Amy. Because like I said, the original idea was trying to make her not be Amy's sister, but now she's going through her own head that because Amy is going for the world title, because she's getting more recognition and all that, she's becoming the afterthought, and she's not happy about it, and she's basically letting everybody know about that. And they actually played them in the Rumble because they actually ended up being the final two, if I remember correctly. So she's gonna be super pissed about this. Yeah, that's all I can really say.
Well, I appreciate that you have sister characters, and you didn't just put them together and say you're a tag team now, and that's what you do, right? Because you get a lot of these wrestling twins in the tag team division, the Usos or the Headhunters or whatever, and they seem like they're very different characters. So Amy
and Mary Ellen were basically at that first anyway very different characters. I think it was like Amy was the flamboyant one, Mary Ellen is a more seldom one, I guess. They were like they were like I can't even think of the word, but like every now and then they would tag up, but they weren't a tag team. They were related, but they had their own separate paths.
Have they ever gone against each other in a match?
They have, and well, yeah, they have. They just went against each other in the Rumble. In terms of one-on-one, I believe they have, but I can't really think off the top of my head when last time that did happen.
And so who won over in that match?
It's too late in the day for me to remember that right now.
We're gonna say that Amy won over because she's the superior sister, and she's gonna be world champion here shortly. So I'm definitely
actually, if you want to talk about the last time the two of them went against each other, Amy won. So
right,
she won the Rumble.
So you've got some big things on the horizon, and I'm going to go ahead and plug my own project here. Amy is going to be in the World Series of Wrestling this year. Of course, she's a veteran. She was in the show last year. She's going to come back, and that's going to give you some exposure outside of Five Boroughs Wrestling that should be unique for you. What's it like for you to, as someone who's kind of been exclusive to One Fed, to work with some people that you've never worked with before?
Feels good, I think one of the things that I have been kind of trying to do is try to reach out and work with other people in one capacity or another. In a way, it's I have my own, I guess, insecurities, with trying to reach out. Like I'm like in real life, I'm a very shy, excuse me. I'm a very shy person, so like I don't really I don't really go out that often. Like I have my own group of friends that I go to, and online there's same 3 or 4 people that I talk to. So like going to see new people, it's like it's like trying to go into a new group of people, but like you want to put your foot in and try to say something, but you either feel awkward interrupting somebody, or it's like you get the feeling it's like they don't really want me there, that kind of thing. Like that's the thoughts that go in my head. But being able to actually get a chance to work with other people, like get out of the comfort zone, is pretty good. And I would kind of hope that I could be able to do more of that.
That's really the whole concept behind the show, is to bring people from a bunch of different places together and to put them on an even playing field, right? And just say, it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what you're up to or what you've done. Everybody here is playing by the same set of rules. We're all starting from zero. Now just go. See what you can do together, and if you want to work together, that's great. If you want to work as a lone wolf, you can do that too. And I'm so excited to see what people do, and it's so rewarding to see people become friends or to meet people that they wouldn't have otherwise met, just by having these short-lived little competitions. So I'm very happy to have you back. Dave, you've been helpful to me when I was first getting the Twitch channel going. You gave me some advice that really helped out and helped me build some confidence in what I was doing. So I know that you may be a little insecure around people you don't know, but I think everybody kind of feels that way to a certain extent. So
I think actually when we actually talking about the Twitch thing and all that, I think it's also more like insecurities about myself as well. Like, because it's one of the things that like I kind of like try to tell myself, especially when I'm going online, is that it's okay to look like a fool sometimes. If anything, it's like if you're on like a platform like a Twitch or YouTube and all that, that's how people get attracted to you. It's like they see you be, stupid or be a clown or anything to be like that, and be like, that guy is funny, like it's like if you go to a Twitch stream, you're just watching one person like completely stone faced, no reactions, and it's like he's doing very well. It's like that's not really fun to watch, You
Sure.
see somebody like get very angry, throw the controller across the room, rage, flip over the desk over, hit the first Goomba in Super Mario Brothers. Like, hey, I want to stick around and see what more he'll destroy.
That's right. So go ahead and plug your Twitch channel here. Tell us about that, because you've been doing that for quite a while now.
Yep. Yeah, I've basically been. It's a Sober David. The reason why I call it that because as the Simpsons once said, what's the one thing that people have been looking for since the dawn of time? A sober Irishman. Which actually is true. I actually am a sober Irishman, so I don't drink that much. So it's yeah, that's why it's one of the ways it stand out. But yeah, I've been like doing Twitch for on and off probably 5 or 6 years now. It's only been like the last year and a half where I actually have like proper equipment to actually really do it. It's like it's when you're doing this for so long, there's things you pick up, but it's like actually the one thing I always the early bit of advice I was told was, if you're going on a Twitch stream, the one thing you don't want to do is just do videos or just do the gameplay and nothing else, because that's no different to the YouTube video. You're just watching someone watching live. So you need to make a unique for yourself. Get your voice out there, get your picture out there, and give yourself the hook. Get people to see and hear the person behind it. And that's like something I have only really been done for the last year. I've been doing it on and off for a while. It's in a way that actually has been a little bit of a struggle, because it kind of feels like I've basically like running around in circles, making no progress in terms of like the numbers and all that. But I not in terms of that, like it's frustrating, but it's something I enjoy doing because I get to do what I want to do in my spare time. get to be myself a little bit, get to play games, get to talk to people that are interested. And that's kind of what I want. I want people, hang around and, have fun and all that. It's just been trying to, if anything, try to motivate myself to just push a little bit more. Kind of like in a weird way, kind of like Amy, push yourself in the right direction. And I've been trying to do that.
Sure. Well, hey, Dave, we're getting close to the time here. So before we go,
outwinded here.
I want to open up the floor. Whatever other projects you want to promote or people you'd like to shout out to, or anything any deep dark secrets you want to reveal on the show. Now's the time to do it. So I want to open the floor. What else do you have for us?
Well, I've already explained I'm so Irish, man. That's probably the biggest secret I've got. But no, there's not really that much, really. Like in terms of shouting out people, basically, Megan be the main person, because, like I said, we've been sticking around for like a decade and a half, and somehow we haven't scared each other off. But yeah, like for I can't even think of the right words. I'm sorry, I'm just brain fart right now. But like in a way where like I'm here because she's here, because like I'm trying to help her out. We help me out, and I wouldn't be in this situation with Amy or anybody else if she wasn't like pushing me or poking me in the head to remind me to do this and do that and everything like that, and me helping her when I can. 5BW. Like I said, it's the home fed right now. We're closing in on. I think we're just finishing up our fourth year. It's the fifth year. We're closing up a season now. Vendetta's a big show that's going to happen next month, which would be Amy's title match. Then that'll be the end of that season. We'll have a little bit of time off. We'll open up again after the summer. Like it's an angle fed if anybody's interested in that kind of thing. We are looking for new people. So don't be afraid to give us a look. It'll be Burrows 5 on was it 5B Wrestling? I need to look. I really gotta prepare these more often. But yeah, we're on. I'm just gonna look it up very quick here.
I'll tag it in the video.
It's 5B. It's 5B Wrestling, I believe it is. So
yes.
If everybody looking, there you go. If anybody's interested, we're looking for people. Feel free to join that angle fed. We run shows weekly. We're happy to have you on board, and don't be scared of me, please, or her. We're kind. We don't bite.
No. You two are you're sweethearts. Really, I hope that every efeder finds a partner in crime like you two have found each other. I think that's the goal. I'm totally shipping you guys. But I think that's going to call it for today. So on behalf of Dave, the handler of Amy Harrison, Mary Ellen Harrison, Chloe Harrison, the rest of the Harrisons.
Don't forget the Johnson. I should actually mention the Johnsons as well, because they actually are a sister team that's actually teaming up, and they're actually tag champs right now. So should have mentioned that. Sorry, contradicting myself here.
Right. So on behalf of your entire roster of personalities and creative properties, thank you for coming on the show. I've been the Sauce Boss, Saucy. This is Awesome Promotions. We've been breaking kayfabe. So until next time, thanks for coming around. Appreciate you sticking to the end of the video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get up to 400 subscriptions by the end of the summer. Continue to be excellent to each other. Everybody love everybody, and we'll see you all again down the road.